House Speaker Kevin McCarthy loses a critical vote from his Republican colleagues.
And find out how this North Texas organization is using a different approach to spark tough conversations between local students. NT Daily starts now.
From the Mayborn School of Journalism at the University of North Texas, this is NT Daily News.
Good afternoon, I'm Sean Hunley.
And I'm Lillian Kosh.
With the government funded now for the next 45 days, the House of Representatives is in session today, throwing out Speaker Kevin McCarthy. The drama started last night with an internal Republican Party squabble.
Pursuant to Clause 2A1 of Rule 9, I rise to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House.
Republican Representative Matt Gaetz took the floor last night, calling for a vote on whether Speaker Kevin McCarthy should remain as the party's leader. Gaetz and some of his fellow conservative Republicans are upset that McCarthy made a deal with Democrats to pass a temporary budget bill over the weekend. McCarthy vowed to defend his role as the party's leader.
If you throw a speaker out that has 99% of their conference, that kept government open and paid the troops, I think we're in a really bad place for how we're going to run Congress.
So nobody knows where this is going. It's a civil war within the Republican Party, and I don't know that Democrats are obliged to help with that.
Democratic leader Jim Clyburn spoke for some of his colleagues. Just a short time ago, the House took a procedural vote to dismiss the challenge, and just a few minutes ago, the full House voted to remove McCarthy as Speaker.
Hunter Biden pleaded not guilty to federal gun charges in Delaware today. The president's son appeared in court this morning, making it the first time a child of a sitting president has been to court to fight criminal charges. Biden pleas come after a deal related to taxes collapsed that would have spared him in this case. If convicted on all three charges, Hunter Biden faces a maximum of 25 years in prison and up to $750,000 in fines.
South Texas Congressman Henry Cuellar says he was carjacked last night as he was parking outside his Washington apartment.
One with a gun, another with a gun, one behind me. So they said they wanted my car. I said, sure, you got to keep calm in those situations. And then they took off.
D.C. Metro Police later recovered the car and Cuellar's sushi dinner. No word yet on arrest on the case. Cuellar says he was shaken but not injured.
A new poll from the Associated Press and the University of Chicago says that most Americans do not think conservative college students can express themselves as freely as liberals on campus. Hudson Crozier tells us how one of the groups of students is handling interactions with their peers.
The University of North Texas has plenty of organizations for students who want to be involved in political activism. But if you're a conservative student, there's just one, Young Americans for Freedom, or YAF, with only a dozen or so members. YAF became the only right-leaning group on campus after another one died out, the Young Conservatives of Texas. YCT's events were known for attracting heated opposition and gave UNT a bit of a colorful history when it comes to campus debate.
This is what leftist politics looks like.
One former member, Cole Alexander, remembers going to an anti-abortion protest that got out of hand.
And it ended up being pretty much just like a scream fest between both parties. And that's when I slowly started to realize that this probably is not the right organization for me.
Now a member of YAF, Alexander and others in the group claim to have a different approach than the old conservative movement at UNT.
It really felt like their goal was to be antagonistic.
They're out to prove that civil discussion is still possible.
The idea is to engage with everybody. Everybody's got different ideas.
It may not work all the time, but I think it would work more often than just screaming your opinions and just trying to be rude and call people names for their disagreements with you.
The vice chair of YAF even says there have been plenty of students with opposing views showing up to their meetings.
Getting to speak with these people, they still don't agree, right? And sometimes we persuade them on a couple of things, but oftentimes you come in and leave with the same ideas you have, but the conversation's been had, right?
He's happy to see members of the community talking to one another again. For DCTV, I'm Hudson Crozier.
Young Conservatives of Texas also sued UNT over its policy of charging in-state tuition to undocumented immigrants. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in favor of UNT over the summer, but YCT could still appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court.
The judge in former President Trump's civil trial just imposed a limited gag order, telling Trump to stop making critical remarks to reporters and on his social media feed. The trial began yesterday, and the former president lashed out at the judge when talking with reporters. The former president is being charged with business fraud brought by New York Attorney General Letitia James. The former president was in the courtroom Monday and again today as testimony continues in the multi-million-dollar fraud case. The state contends that the Trump Organization routinely overstated the value of properties while doing business in New York State. The case will be decided by the judge, who has already ruled in several pre-trial motions that the evidence shows the Trump businesses fraudulently applied for loans. If found guilty, the Trump Organization will face significant fines and will be barred from doing business in the state of New York.
When we come back, we'll head over to an animal shelter here in Denton.
And a Texas city struggles with its homeless population. We have the details next on NT Daily News.
Think buying fake products is harmless? Think again. Think fake cosmetics are tested and safe? Think again. Think that medicine you can buy off social media is high quality? Think again. Counterfeits are made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. Each year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products are sold in the U.S. I smell big crime. Think about it. If you don't know where the products came from, how could you know where the money goes? You're smart. Buy smart. Go for real. Think buying fake products is harmless?
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become one in a million.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens? Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
Hey there, I'm Lance Bass, and this is CHIP. And for more than 100 years, American Humane has been protecting animals in times of crisis. And if you're like me, your pet means the world to you, and you want to keep them safe if disaster strikes. American Humane's first responders are always prepared to rescue animals in danger, but you can also help. To learn more about disaster planning and keeping your animals safe, please visit AmericanHumane.org.
There's a place to share gossip about the office party fun, and a place to share the story you tell everyone. There's a place to share a laugh about when things went wrong, and a place to share the video of you dancing to your song. There's a place to share spare change, lunch, and your time. But we could all be better at sharing how we're feeling inside. 76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone.
Living on campus can be a challenge for college students, especially while trying to take care of an animal at the same time. Denton's Linda McNatt Animal Shelter is the local hotspot for pet adoptions here in Denton. The shelter is packed with strays and surrenders flooding in all the time, which creates issues with trying to house each animal. With most of Denton's population consisting of college students, trying to get big dogs out of the shelter is a struggle.
We have a very high number of strays that come in here in the shelter. So I think yesterday we had about 32 strays come in. Most of them were cats, but if they were dogs, we wouldn't have any space to house them. So from there, we would either have to just try to house them, whether it's in crates or just like wherever we can.
Despite the overcrowding, the staff at Linda McNatt does everything they can do to give the animals plenty of love and care. The shelter offers great deals for adoption and encourages everyone to come out and check out their big furry friends.
San Antonio officials are pushing to clean up homeless camps. With a new budget, the Texas City has more money to clear out its encampments. CNN's Avery Everett reports.
They're scheduled for the 11th.
A warning Pete Barrera is familiar with.
So you got at least about 2 weeks for the assessment and then the 48 hours.
As the outreach manager at Haven for Hope,
The 11th is assessment, on the 13th they clean up.
Barrera says helping spread the word about encampment cleanups to those without housing is one of his top priorities.
They've been increasing for a while.
The city just cleaned up this area in the 600 block of Croft Trace just a few days ago. And you can't see it from this angle, but people have already started to move back. This year, the city's looking to clean up 500 sites, but that number is going to jump next year with budget increases to 700.
We had a big improvement from the year before, and we're going to continue improving on that.
San Antonio's Solid Waste Management Department is following the direction of City Council and the city manager. Now, with the start of October, the city is trying to clean up encampments within 2 weeks of getting an initial call.
We're doing it in drainage ditches, wooded areas, you name it, to wherever there's a homeless encampment, our crews go in there and clean it up.
The city says outreach and an assessment happen before an abatement. With a schedule already packed for the coming weeks, some locations are becoming regular stops.
Like Hay Street Bridge, you got off of Fredericksburg Road, Austin Highway, there's some repeat encampments that we go by there regularly.
We tried to talk to some of those people impacted, but no one we spoke with wanted to go on camera. One man did say he's lived in the same camp for a couple of months, and he's had to deal with a few cleanups himself.
Since I've been here 2 times.
Yeah. Some might leave, some might take it serious, others, like I said, if they've been through it before, they know how it works.
Barrera says he still makes an effort to get the message out.
Meet them where they're at, no matter where they're at.
Hoping to help those in his community, even if they're not ready to go to Haven yet.
The overall count of people experiencing homelessness in San Antonio is now at 3,155% increase from last year.
Wichita police believe they solved the 34-year-old case of Krista Martin. Martin was 20 years old when she was sexually assaulted and murdered in 1989. Investigators in Kansas are now naming Paul Hart as the suspect in the case. Hart died 10 years after the crime was committed in a traffic accident. The case was cracked by recent advances in DNA technology, which was not available 30 years ago. In a press conference on Monday, Ember Moore, the victim's niece, thanked the Cold Case Squad for their dedication in solving her murder.
The parents of a Michigan high school student will now stand trial in connection with the 2021 shooting at Oxford High School outside Detroit. The Michigan Supreme Court refused an appeal from Jennifer and James Crumley. The parents of teenager Ethan Crumley asked the court to throw out the charges against them. Prosecutors say the parents brought the gun for their son and met with concerned teachers the day of the shooting. The decision to have the parents stand trial comes days after a Michigan circuit judge ruled that Ethan could be sentenced to life in prison without parole. Ethan pleaded guilty to 4 murder charges earlier this year.
Get this, 6,400 air fryers are being recalled due to fire and burn hazards. The 2 models in question were sold at Secura website and Amazon from May 2019 through October 2020. They are black with silver accents, and the brand name is on top of each unit. A wire connection in the fryer can overheat, and there were 9 reports of the air fryers catching fire, burning, and smoking. No property damage or injuries were reported.
Want to see Mariah Carey in concert? We'll have tour updates for you.
And Starbucks is getting innovative with the creation of coffee. We have the story after the break.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens. Fact, More than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
Think buying fake products is harmless? Think again. Think fake cosmetics are tested and safe? Think again. Think that medicine you can buy off social media is high quality? Think again. Counterfeits are made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. Each year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products are sold in the U.S. I smell big crime. Think about it. If you don't know where the products came from, how could you know where the money goes? You're smart. Buy smart. Go for real.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become one in a million.
Hey there, I'm Lance Bass, and this is CHIP. And for more than 100 years, American Humane has been protecting animals in times of crisis. And if you're like me, your pet means the world to you, and you want to keep them safe if disaster strikes. American Humane's first responders are always prepared to rescue animals in danger, but you can also help. To learn more about disaster planning and keeping your animals safe, please visit AmericanHumane.org.
There's a place to share gossip about the office party fun, and a place to share the story you tell everyone. There's a place to share a laugh about when things went wrong, and a place to share the video of you dancing to your song. There's a place to share spare change, lunch, and your time. But we could all be better at sharing how we're feeling inside. 76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone.
Mariah Carey announced she's doing a Christmas tour. The self-proclaimed Queen of Christmas took to X with details. She revealed tickets for her Merry Christmas One and All tour go on sale Friday. Ticket pre-sales start Wednesday. The tour will begin in California November 15th. Carey stops include Los Angeles, Denver, Toronto, Chicago, Boston, Montreal, and Philadelphia. The tour will conclude on December 17th at New York's Madison Square Garden.
An Austin feline was the victim of a catjacking. A Lyft driver reportedly took off with the pet after dropping the owner off at an animal hospital. Reporter Beatty Cross has more. Don't worry, the cat has been returned, and to sum it all off, Lyft has taken care of Tux's medical bills and is currently investigating the situation.
The traditional Taco Tuesday is celebrated on Wednesday this week because of National Taco Day. In the USA, National Taco Day started in 2009, and as you probably know, we have Mexico to thank for tacos. Delicious and historic, the taco forms part of the cuisine and cultural diversity of Mexico. While it may not be Tuesday, try a style of taco you've never had before. Whether you prefer soft or hard-shelled tortillas, be fearless while stuffing it with whatever your heart desires. You may be surprised by how many options there are. While you're celebrating, share recipes and give a shout out to your favorite local Mexican restaurants, food truck, or taco stand.
Starbucks says it has developed new climate-proof coffee. The chain has to innovate because experts warn the current growing conditions for coffee won't last another 20 years. The Inter-American Development Bank says warming temperatures will reduce the crop's sustainability farming area by up to 50%. That's why Starbucks has 6 new varieties that can handle hotter temperatures and disease. They are the result of 10 years of research and hundreds of attempts to pair varieties. Starbucks said the new coffee will have notes of melon, honey, and sugar, while another has a citrus, herbal, and floral taste.
Fast food restaurants are serving food a whole lot faster than before. InTouch Insight says many big-time fast food restaurants, such as Wendy's and Chick-fil-A, had a major decrease in the time it takes to serve their customers. Wendy's cut down 88 seconds, and Chick-fil-A was down 73 seconds. Ultimately, Chick-fil-A still remains the top fast food service chain, but it was Taco Bell with the fastest total time.
Well, the MLB playoffs are coming to town, and we'll have all the details.
And the Powerball prize is something you might want to get your hands on. More after the break.
76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens. Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
Oh, hi.
Yes.
I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was all for nothing. Just look at this perfectly good food thrown in the trash. The pizza with extra Cheerios, these goldfish and Band-Aid tacos. And just look at this perfect trash burger. This pasta dog looks delicious.
You don't have to dumpster dive like Ed Begley Jr. to save the planet. Fight food waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh, arugula.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
Yes.
Hey there, I'm Lance Bass, and this
I have a question.
is CHIP. And for more than 100 years, American Humane has been protecting
Can you
animals
actually lift
in
this thing up
times
a little
of
bit?
crisis. And if you're like me, your pet means the world to you, and you want to keep them safe if disaster strikes. American Humane's first responders are always prepared to rescue animals in danger, but you can also help. To learn more about disaster planning and keeping your animals safe, please visit AmericanHumane.org.
Think buying fake products is harmless? Think again. Think fake cosmetics are tested and safe? Think again. Think that medicine you can buy off social media is high quality? Think again. Counterfeits are made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. Each year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products are sold in the U.S. I smell big crime. Think about it. If you don't know where the products came from, how could you know where the money goes? You're smart. Buy smart. Go for real.
Back in January came out.
Sean, I saw you repping the Rangers earlier. I mean, I bet you're really excited to see them in some October games, you know,
It's
first
been a
time
long
forever.
time. You know, I'm really excited for them, and hopefully one day they'll get to play in the championship game, hopefully a World Series in the future.
I'm hoping for the Stros, but that's besides the point. Let's go ahead and toss it over to our sports anchor, Haley Yates, to hear her take on the MLB postseason. Haley?
Season coming in later. Week 4 of the NFL season saw the Cowboys returning to the winning. The Texans went big, putting them on a 2-game win streak, and the talk of the Chiefs game had nothing to do with sports. In Buffalo, the Bills beat the Dolphins, but one big story was return of safety, Damar Hamlin. Hamlin was in uniform and back on the field for the Buffalo Bills for his first regular season action since going into cardiac arrest on the field in a game against Cincinnati back in January. Hamlin would be limited to special teams, playing after being listed as an active by the team on Sunday, the Bills' big 48-20 win over the Miami Dolphins. Hamlin has come a long way since his injury last January and will continue to make headway in his young career. In Houston, the Texans scored big, beating the Steelers 30-6, and it's been an exciting few weeks for the Cowboys getting back into the win column. The Cowboys won their game on Sunday 38-3 over the New England Patriots. This brings the Cowboys to a 3-1 on the season, leaving Cowboys fans hopeful for the rest of the season. It's playoff time in Major League Baseball, and Texas is well represented. The Houston Astros finished first in the AL West, tying the Rangers with a record of 90-72 after their series with the Arizona Diamondbacks. They will start their postseason against the winners of the Minnesota Twins and Toronto Blue Jays series. The Texas Rangers have made it to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. The Rangers' most recent series against the Seattle Mariners put them in the second spot for the AL West, and the Rangers began their postseason games today against the Tampa Bay Rays in the best-of-3 wildcard series. The current score is Rangers leading 4-0 in the top of the 8th. And the sports world is buzzing about the 12-time Grammy Award winner Taylor Swift attending the last Kansas City Chief games, promoting a speculation about a relationship with tight end Travis Kelce.
It's the hottest couple in entertainment right now, you know, sports entertainment, musical entertainment. We're going to show the world how hot the two of these are together in the parking lot. I mean, it's just what we do as Jet fans. We're very welcoming in what we do.
With Swift in attendance Sunday night, Travis and the Chiefs beat the New York Jets 23-20. And that's it for sports.
Thanks, Haley. Well, the Texas Powerball has reached a record high this year. The jackpot is now standing at a whopping $1.2 billion. This comes after no one winning Monday night's drawing. The prize numbers for Monday were 12, 26, 27, 34, 37, and the Powerball was 5.
The next drawing is scheduled for Wednesday night with the $1.2 billion jackpot. This is the highest Powerball jackpot this year and the third largest jackpot in the game's history.
Shoot, I might have to go get a ticket after this.
I might have to too.
Get lucky.
I don't know what to figure it out. Hopefully I can get it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for tuning in today.
Join us next Tuesday here on NT Daily.